Right, good afternoon. My name is Bhavna Shah. I work for the IT department, and I will be explaining this afternoon about the course that we're running at Barnet Southgate College at both sites. Right, so I've given a computing list of courses that we run at both sites, and that sort of ways from level 2 to level 3. And going on to the access to higher education digital marketing. That is a new course that we'll be delivering this year. We do run the same courses at both sides. For example, if you can see on the screen on the presentation, I've got the level 2 extended certificate at Southgate as well as Woodstead Street. When you do apply to the courses, just make sure that you have picked up the right course or doing the link on the website. If you were to go on the website and click on the link, you'll find the link that I've given you the list at the bottom. Each one's clickable links, so you should be able to home into the right course and the right site that you want to do the actual course at. Right. For program level 2, the ICT, I'm the course leader for the level 2 ICT course at Wood Street, and my colleague Marilla is the course leader for Southgate. And for the ICT entry level 2, what we're looking at is full GCSE at grade 3 in academic subject. That means things like geography, history, science subjects. Languages won't be accepted. But the academic subjects will be accepted within the grade 3 in any suitable academic subjects. Suitable academic reference is so important for us here to be successful at Barnet Southgate College, because attendance punctuality is one of the things we look very closely at, and we believe at college that if you've got good attendance and punctuality, your overall grades will be higher and achievement rate is that much greater. So the entrance again for level 2 will be for GCSE at grade 3, suitable academic subject, or level 1 diploma, merit grade at minimum grade in relevant subjects. So this could be level 1 in business, ICT, science, those kind of subjects. We're again looking at academic subject. A minimum of level 1 functional skills, maths and English as well. We will be looking at maths and English at the GCSE grade as well, within the 4 GCSE grades. It's important because we do have exams running through at level 2. Now, on the blue box on the right hand side of the screen, it shows the units we're delivering at level 2. So the first one I've got as a unit is Online World, which is external assessed exam unit, where we're going to learn about all the technologies that's used on online world, things like website, the database, all the security side of it, learning all the ins of the online world, the way it works, and the students will be assessed, and it's an online exam. The unit 2, the technology system, again, it's external unit, exam unit, and these 2 exams will be within 1 week, given at the end of December, just before Christmas holidays. They will have an exam. They will take external exams. Now, with the technology systems, quite a lot to learn in the sense of how the technology works within industries. May that be a sort of a building site, may that be a milk production unit, it might be the McVitie's biscuits, hospitals, and we're looking at how the technology system actually is embedded for them to be functioning as they need to function. We also look at the different types of programming languages we have in terms of the low-level languages, the high-level languages, and they learn the difference between that. They also learn about binary and denary kind of numbers, the computing matrix kind of numbering system, how it all works, and those students do enjoy that learning part of the unit as well. So that's that unit 2 concept. Unit 3 is a digital portfolio. Now, within the digital portfolio, what the students will have to do is basically have online CV. So they will talk about who they are, what they're learning this year with in terms of within the BTEC level 2, show off their work. You know, that it's a platform to show off their work as if they're doing a live CV. So if they were to go for an interview, they can easily show it on within their digital devices, may that be iPad or a mobile phone as well. They can show off the product they've created within the BTEC level 2 they've learned. So it's a nice unit. Again, they enjoy it, and they do create a website using HTML. And also, once they've learned how to use HTML, then we'll get them to use it within Dreamweaver. Now, unit 1, 2, and 3 are the mandatory units. They need to do that, and they need to pass the units in combination of, you know, the minimum passes. You can have merit or distinction. Yeah. So merit, I would say the pass is like getting a grade C, merit is getting a grade B, and a distinction is getting a grade A. And the units labelled from 4 to 8 are the optional units we've chosen to deliver at college. So when you look at the software development, we're teaching them how to do actual coding, programming. So what they'll learn is about the difference between the software programming, what's the difference between different languages, when may that be Visual Basic with Python, and they learn the differences between that. They also then go on to designing our product for our client in terms of creating storyboards. And once they've done the storyboards and sold to the client why they've designed what they've designed, I then become not a teacher, I then become a client where I will agree or disagree of their design, because like anything, blueprint needs to be agreed by the client or by the customers before a programmer or a builder goes ahead and builds that product. So once they've done that, they would then actually code the client's request. So interface. So when I talk about graphical user interface, it's a bit like us going to the cash machine, putting in the credit card, and it validates. It will ping you to say, right, whether, please enter your PIN. It will go through validating it. If it's true, i.e. if it matches, then we'll allow you to go into the next screen. And it gives you the options of selecting what you want to do, and this, and from there it'll text you to different screen. And this is what my students will learn how to do in that software development unit. We've also got a program, the unit called mobile apps. Now, technology nowadays, or the way we're working, everything is through mobile apps, the banking system we're doing, but we will not be teaching them the banking system, how to tap into the banking system or how to hack into the banking system at all, but how to design a mobile app that's going to be successful in that terms. So that, again, they will understand the fundamentals of mobile apps. Then once they've understood that, they will create mobile apps for the client's request. And again, each unit that I've mentioned, they will have a client. Client meaning the teachers will make a realistic client situation where they have to meet the client's needs. And again, this client can be difficult, can be easygoing, could be over the moon, the product they've created, because end of the day, you've got to make the client happy in your designs. If they're not happy, obviously they will communicate with the designer and say, right, I'm not happy with this, this layout. What if we have it the different way? And again, the effective communication will take place, and they're learning to build their confidence in communicating with their clients. So mobile apps development will be done that. So once they've understood the fundamental, they go on to designing the actual storyboard for the mobile apps. Once they've then done that, they will create the mobile apps for both the platform, that meaning for the Apple and for Androids. And students do enjoy seeing their products being reflected on their mobile phones, and it's nice to see that students enjoying it. So we've taken on board to teach them the mobile apps. Number 6, database development. Again, it's a crucial unit. Everyone uses database nowadays. I mean, not everyone nowadays. Everyone in every company out there will use a database. We've heard of the saying, we're just a number. Then that term comes on to creating a database where we as people, all of us, whether we're patient, whether we're student, whether I'm a staff, we all got unit ID numbers. Right. Students do struggle with this unit, but it's important they learn, because this database also appears at level 3. And they do enjoy it once they get the concept about relational database. They do understand why it's such an important unit to learn as well. Unit 7 spreadsheets units. We use, again, I've chosen to deliver that is because the industry uses that to manage projects, keeping budgets on it. Loads of computation can carry on into, can be used within the spreadsheet unit. Again, they have a client. This year we had a client, which was a school, and they needed to monitor the point system, reward system, where if the students had met the deadlines, had really good assignments, they'll end up getting X amount of points. If their behavior was really good, they will get X amount of points. And collectively at the end, they would have had a total running. And if they had totals falling into bands, different tiers, they will get different trips or rewarded as incentive. And the students really enjoyed it to learned about all the different ways of using different formulas, functions, features within Excel. And I would say my level 2 students were very good at it. And the final unit is the networking unit. It is good to make them understand how the network works. They're all aware they're using network, without a doubt. But there's so many different types of networks out there. And they do learn about the different types of network, whether the setup in the classroom they're sitting, the setup they're using at home, setup in the between different companies they're setting up using, whether you're based in London and you've got another branch in Japan, and of the third branch might be in Hawaii. How's the network working? So they need to understand the fundamentals of networking, and they also use the computer lab to set up a little network just to make sure everything's working as a network in terms of cabling, installation of the software, as well as making sure that all the connectivity is up and running as they should be. So those are the 8 units we'll be delivering at level 2. For level 3, what we're looking for entrance, we're looking for 5 GCSE. It has to include English language and maths at grade 4 and above. Again, reference is so important. We'll be looking at academics reference from schools, or we'll be looking at level 2 diploma grade merit in relevant subject, including GCSE grade we need in maths and English. It has to be grade 4 and above. The reason why we're requesting this, that the BTEC level 3 has gone in par with A-level standard of expectation of their work they need to produce. And the 2 of the exams which I have got on the right hand side of the screen are the external exams. It does require a lot of writing in there. So these, the Unit 1, the information technology system, it is learning about all the different types of technology in terms of online, the way it works, in terms of technology system within industry, the way it works, the security, the way we're collecting data, ethical, moral data, information we're collecting. It's such an important understanding they need to have the concept, and hence a lot of writing is needed in there. So English, it's marked as well within the exams. Unit 2, creating systems for management information. Again, the big database exam comes in, and they've got 3 parts to Unit 2, where they have got 3 windows. So they've got part A, they'll do one day, part B, they'll do the following day, and part C, they'll do the week, the third day. So we've got little windows, we call them windows, 3 windows within the creating systems, where they'll be using access to create the database. The third unit, social media, the students have really enjoyed doing the social media this year. And they need to understand how social media is so much used in business industry. And as we know, some of you might be using your social apps as well. And again, big data is obviously used within that, and social media is always, you know, plugging in anything that we're using, online buying we're doing. So students have really enjoyed that unit. Unit 4 is the year 2 unit, where it's the cybersecurity they'll be learning. So let me just make that clear, because I said year 2. Now within it's a 2-year course. They'll do X amount unit within the first year. When the first year finishes, and if they pass all the units, they'll be invited to do the second year. So first year will be known as foundation course, and the second year is known as extended. Although it's a 2-year course, we have different titles for year 1 and year 2. So we've also got cybersecurity and internet management, which is again external exam. And again, it's got 3 windows, that means 3 papers to do within that. So again, they'll give you a scenario within that unit. They've got to do research, understand the scenario, and plug in the cybersecurity and internet management within those kind of scenarios in there. With the request of the students' demand, they've requested, if they can, you know, they want to do a unit called computing gaming, to understand the platform, how to create the fundamentals of gaming, how to create the storyboards, and then go on to creating the gaming unit. So we've taken on board of that, and I think it's nice for them to understand, although most of our young people are so much into gaming, and they want to understand a little bit more background of that. So that we've taken on board a gaming unit. We've also got IT project management, and every single IT project, every request that comes in from business world, there has to be an IT project. They need to have understanding of what IT project means, that from the start till the very end, and making sure then, you know, they meet the deadlines and also understand the budget they've got. So IT project management's come into play in there. Programming, again, it's good for them to learn the programming, and again we'll be using Python as one of the teaching tools within the Python. And what we tend to do is encourage Python as a first start. So they'll do the project in the Python, and the challenge will be, once they've done that in Python, we'll ask them to create it in Visual Studio, just for them to understand the difference between the 2 languages. So they're able to compare and understand and deliver within 2 different platforms. Now, I've just realised I've got computing gaming design twice on that side of it, but they're very close to each other. One's purely just designing it, so they won't be creating it, whereas in development they will create the actual product. Yeah, so you may think that how come they're 2, you know, 0.5 and 0.8 is very close by. One's design, one's creating side of it. So we'll be doing both of those. Again, mobile apps comes into it. It could be, the reason why I've chosen the mobile apps is that not all of our students will be progressing or coming from level 2. They will be coming from school, so they wouldn't have had introduction to mobile apps. So we've taken on board mobile apps for that very reason. Website, again, we've done that. Students do enjoy doing the website unit because they get to learn about how to set up, the concept behind setting up our website, and also thinking about the domain names they may want to take on or tag on to their website they create. So it's again enjoyable units on that side. And data modeling. Data modeling is so important to understand how our data will be set up in every industry out there, not just business, every industry out there. To understand, if you understand your data modeling, your end product or your end results, to understanding your data will be bigger, because you can manipulate it to your heart contents, to make, you can do the forecasting of it. But if you don't understand your data modeling, your true data that you will see on your spreadsheet will not make any sense. You might not be able to reflect it. If you do reflect it, it may be a very short period of time you might be able to reflect. So we try to teach them in order to get your data modeling, you need to understand your data set. Why do you need that data set? Yeah, and question the data side of that. We've also got one more unit that I haven't plugged in here, which is a big data. Big data is so much out there, and there is a shortage in big data. in terms of employability. So, they haven't got enough people out there to get into big data. So big data is there to data crunch about any product, any websites out there. If you think about big companies like Amazon, they're doing big data. What time you're logging on, what you're looking at, yeah, how long it takes you to purchase that good, why you're dithering on that good. Yes, they look at the patterns of how often you're buying the products, what interests you. So that big data is collected so much and for the companies to be successful in terms of advertising their products or and making their millions, they need to understand the pattern of human behavior. And that's where we're also plugging in. One of the units we're plugging in will be the big data in there. Yeah. Right. What happens? So I've gone into progression after Barnet Southgate College at level 3, year 2. I will explain to you about progression from level 2 in a few minutes. So progression, end of the 2 years of doing the ICT course at level 3, 95% of our students have progressed to university, which is a big rate. And they've gone into various degree courses they wanted to do. Having learned about different units, they're able to then join in or choose choose the degree they want to do. So we've got cybersecurity as a degree they've gone into, computing science, networking, gaming, website production they've gone into, digital marketing with business, data analytics they've gone into, software development, artificial intelligence. So, it's such a big spectrum. Having done level 3, the choices are so much so. So when we look at choosing the units, we give them a platform to look at, allow them to select what degree they want to do, and they can home in by the time they're into level 3 course within a year and a half, they can home in which units they've enjoyed. And because they've enjoyed, they're able to choose the degree they want to do. So here are some of the university that our students have been accepted with the BTEC level 3. We've got Queen Mary, we've got Westminster, we've got Kingston, Loughborough, Hertfordshire, you've got City, London, University, Warwick, and Brunel. These are some of the units at university our students have gone to doing their 3-year course or 7-year courses there. Right, sorry, let me just jump back and cover the level 2 part of it as well, so it's very clear, just in case some of you young people are coming to the level 2, what happens once I finish level 2. Right, so once you finish level 2 of ICT, most of our students, I would say, they will progress until doing the level 3. If the few selection, there are a few people they'll say, Raf, don't learn my IT, might want to do, Miss, is it okay if I go and do multimedia? Fine, you can go and do level 3 multimedia if you wanted to do business studies. They've gone to do, some of them gone out to do apprenticeship at level 3 because you've already got level 2, so you could easily go into doing apprenticeship level 3 within IT. We talk about this progression this time in the in a year. So I tend to talk to my level 2 students starting from, I would say, March onwards, and start plugging in what is that they want to do. Progression, tell me. Rather than me telling you as a teacher, you tell me what's the progression, where do you want to go? And these are some of the things that have come up. Some students have said, I want to do apprenticeship. Some students have said they want to change IT, but there are very few who have said that to me. Majority will come and do level 3 ICT and progress on to year 2 afterwards. Yeah. Now, some of the frequent questions that we do get is, can I enroll on the study program even though if I'm 19? Because the course, BTEC course, is based on 16 to 18, that's not a problem. The 19, you'll have to end up paying the course. Again, do check with our enrollment information desk what the what the cost will be to do the BTEC. Can I combine A-level subject with BTEC? It's heavy going. I would say no, because it's too much of work to do, and it's, the fundings won't be there to do both combination. Do I come to college 5 days a week? The answer is going to be no, it's not 5 days a week, depending on what subjects, or which level you're doing. It will be between 3 days, I would say, they will come in, or over 4 days. But again, every year the timetable would change, and we will, you'll get to know at the start of the induction week. Can I get a part-time job while I'm studying? Of course you can. I do encourage all my students to get part-time job, only to make sure, it allows them to become confident, allows them to balance the college life as well as working. And I'm not expecting to work hours and hours, but part-time job is more than suitable to do that. Can I get an apprenticeship after level 2? The answer is yes. After level 3, answer is yes to that. After level 3, you will be looking to do apprenticeship level 4. Yeah. Right. So on the right hand side of the screen, I've given the contact details. David Howley is our department manager. We've got Yusuf as well, which is, our CM also, and myself, Bafna, that if you need to contact, the contact details are there for you to contact. Right. We're going to see a video from one of our students that's, her experience while she's been at Barnet College this year doing level 3 year 1.
Hi guys, my name is Abigail. I'm 18 years old and I study at Barnet and Southgate College. Right now, what I'm currently studying is IT level 3, and I will be proceeding on to the next year to continue this course. I'd say my favorite thing about being on this IT course is learning and understanding how everything that you do will adapt onto your future career or onto your future path. So, because IT is quite a general course and because technology is updating, I will be using all the tools I use now in my later life. Apart from trying to resource things online, you can also come into school. So there have been times when I find something tricky and my teacher said, don't worry, you can come in on Monday, because I go to school on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You can come in on Monday and I'll help you out. So I'd say that my support system is absolutely great. Whenever I ask questions that can be a bit general, I don't feel silly because, again, my teachers are here to help me, and also my peers have been great as well. I'd say, coming from someone who doesn't really have much knowledge on on IT, because I didn't do it for GCSEs, I'd say that everyone has absolutely been lovely. I've got great support system. This is from my teachers and also my peers. They do really help me, especially in quite a few of the tricky units we did, such as databases and programming. So actually, proceeding on to these units, I'd say the units that we do are actually quite good, and of course, we are able to get a few resources from teams which we use to communicate with teachers when we're not in school, and also when we're doing online lessons. So to conclude this video, I definitely say I see myself taking on an IT career in the future. But just because I haven't actually finished my course yet for next year, I'd say I don't actually know which one I want to pick. But for now, my interests are definitely using social media in a business and also programming. Those were definitely my favorite units. They were interesting and I did get great support. So I do look forward to seeing where being on this course takes me, especially for next year. I'd say my favorite unit so far has definitely been programming. This is because I was able to use two types of programs, which is Visual Basic and also Python. Um, these programs were there was a massive difference, but I'd say my favorite was definitely Visual Basic because I could bring something to life. I could add images, which was much more simpler as there was just a tool right there, um, in comparison to Python where you had to actually code it in order to get your images. So I'd definitely say that was my favorite.
Right. The question I've been asked is their level 1 course within the IT. We're not doing the course of level 1 IT, but please, if you, I will make a note of level 1 that who's been interested, and depending on, obviously how many people we get recruited, then we'll look at the level 1 course here. But there is, within the bridging course, if you don't get enough qualification, i.e. to do level 2, and you don't get your maths and English, we do have a bridging course that will do the maths and English plus the level 1 embedded within that course. So you do couple of business unit and you do a couple of the IT unit on that side of it. I hope I've answered the question. Right. If you're 18 on enrollment on depending on what the question is, I am 18, can I apply for level 3? You can apply for level 3 pending if you're 18 in August when you do apply, yeah, that'll be fine. Not a problem at all. Yes, as long as you've got a backup qualification to go with it, there should be no problem. Yeah. Okay. The next question I've got here is, what skills would you suggest would be most important in level 3 course to focus on, if any? Now, when you talk about the skills, I would say any interest within the IT will be good. Skills can be built up once you start learning about different units. So focus, this is why the focus part of the IT course is, so number of units we do is quite heavy. Not heavy, I wouldn't say heavy, but it's open. So your interest within it. So once you find the ones you're interested in most or struggling with, your focus will then become very individual to your units. Hope I've answered the question there. Right. The next question I have got, is there any opportunity of work experience as part of the course? Yes, there is. We've always done a work experience where the students will go out to do 36 hours of work experience, but due to the COVID the lockdown, we haven't been able to send students out to do experience, but we do a virtual experience. And this year, that's what they're doing. The virtual experience where you will sign up to the companies and they will go through sets of things they needed you to work on, and they'll be counted as work experience. Yeah, 36 hours of work experience they'll do it, and you get a certificate at the end. Okay. Any more questions? Right, if there's no more questions, I will end the session. But please do find, if you do find if there's any more questions that you want to, or find out a little bit more about the ICT course at Barnet Southgate College, please visit our course on the website. Sorry, please visit our website, Barnet Southgate College, and you'll find within the courses, you'll get all the different types of courses we're running on that side. Yeah. Thank you. I will end the session.